Hey, you guys. Welcome in. Sorry I had to change it again. Welcome. Hi, Muffin Top. Rumple Long here. All right. Sassafras, G.H. White, Adrian. Wow. Here we go. And hopefully this will go down in the books. It is showtime. Welcome to WCIA Network, where everything I do and say falls under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. And WCIA Network is here to bring justice to the children. And that's pretty simple and really clear. No drama. And it's not about the creators I mentioned. Not about the adults. It's not about the babies that come in and try to be trolls. Hi. And it's about the children in hopes to bring justice, tell their story, and get their story understood on a very large scale. The reason I'm late and I pushed it up is because of the information that's coming out on Madeleine McCann. For those of you that don't know, they are doing some searching right now for Madeleine McCann. And I really am not completely up to date on it, but I know this Christian B is someone I've done a few shows on him. He's the one that I pegged as Madeleine McCann's person who took her. And I said that this guy had several people, several kids. And I did a couple shows on him. So when I saw the information come through, and I saw that they're looking in the water, I decided to pull some of my information forward to give you guys a little bit of detail, and maybe something will come through for me that I could share with you guys just by bringing her up. I have started here with this photo of, hi Jean, of Summer, because I think it's super important that my listeners, subscribers, anyone that comes into this channel sees the real photos and sees the real stories beneath Summer Moon Wells bullshit that people are putting out there. This is Summer Moon. Her photos and her information that is the truth truly lies between the deep fake. Any of the children in any of the cases that I bring up here have deep fakes. They all have deep fakes, because the sickness and the disgusting shit that they put these victims through can only be shown on the deep dark web, could only be shown in areas of horrific things that we wouldn't even know how to begin to understand. And what is really tough for me is understanding how someone could look at the photos I'm going to show you today and still not comprehend that this is happening. Now, what makes sense, and I do get it, this is all very trigger warning to people, it is triggering, is that it really hurts too bad to see it. So many of us can't really see it and feel the impact of what these kids went through or are going through, because it really hurts too much. That's extremely understandable. That's why I am going on my second year showing this information, even though it's super hard and difficult to look at. If we don't show it and don't see the truth in front of you, how are we supposed to go and solve and stop it if we don't see the real truth? The photos I'm going to show you and the information is really bringing together these three kooky guys, because their information that I have today really comes from their videos. And again, it's not about JLR, it's not about Benny, and it's not about Ernie. For those who don't know who I'm talking about, JLR, Ernie's the one with the sunglasses, the middle guy's Benny, and the other one is JLR. Again, it's not about them. Anyone could take their videos and play shit in their videos. It's just what our world does. Hi, Adrian. Thank you. It's just what people do. It's real. Deepfakes are real. They could take any videos and do whatever they want with it. So I'm not focused in on them. I'm focused in on the fact that they have the story beneath their faces. They have the story inside their videos. And their story matches the other cases I work on, not just Summer Moon. I came up with Summer Moon Wells' missing children because Summer Moon is the one who led me where I am today. I'm here today because she really is my leader to showing me what I can do. She is the one who brings information forward for me to present. So a lot of people are like, oh, Summer Moon, there's only one Summer Moon. There really isn't. There isn't just one Summer Moon. There's one Summer Moon Wells that we know of, that we've been introduced to. But there are many Summer Moon Wells that have been sacrificed, that have gone through this torment, that don't have a name. They look like Summer Moon Wells. They don't have a name. They were not recognized. And they also want justice. It's just like Madeleine McCann. Everyone thinks that that was bullshit. Maybe it was. I personally think it's someone who has gone through that torture. I remember the first time I saw that fake Madeleine McCann. I'm like, she's scared. I don't know who that is, but then that particular person was gone. As soon as that girl with the black hair came in, she had to come and fix all that shit up. Something went definitely in the wrong way. She didn't know who she was, you guys. Correct, it was a cry for help. She shouldn't have been on the YouTube. They had to clean up that mess so quickly. That lady had to come in and clean up that shit mess. It was really obvious. To me it was. But what was obvious is that Madeleine McCann, that name, there are other children beneath the name of Madeleine McCann. Just like this Summer Moon Wells. I'm going to show you pictures of Summer in here that obviously are not Summer. But they're in her backyard. They're in her fake backyard, her fake swing, and they have her outfit on. Most of them don't know their name. They don't. And that's what happened with, and again, this is just a floss. I have nothing to prove me right or wrong. Nothing. to prove me right or wrong. The only thing that I have is my own truth. That's all. Just like everybody else has their own truth. And that's why there's people with different opinions. There's people with different channels and different philosophies. That's the beauty of freedom of speech. I thought that I would start this out with, I flipped everything around. I wasn't starting it out with Christian B's saying, catching something small and using it many days, that would be it. That's his saying. The information that shows in the video that I pulled months and months ago is the same video that matches the SUMMERWELLS missing children. The images beneath this guy's video screams SUMMERWELLS missing children. It's the same story. It's sacrifices. And it goes all the way back to John Wayne Gacy. It does. I feel as it does. They all have the same, he has the same information. And let me tell you something. Nothing has changed. They may be a little bit more sophisticated because they have more electronics. But what doesn't change, you guys, are the elements. What doesn't change is the story that these children have gone through. What doesn't change are the elements like this. They don't change. This machinery doesn't change. It doesn't change. I am going to show you again how this scene matches up with the Idaho 4 as well as Madeleine McCann and SUMMERWELLS. The information you see here is critical for the authorities to find the answer over in the search right now in Madeleine McCann. I don't have a way to get to them, but I'm putting it out there for those to see it and educate you guys that this information is critical to finding those small little places, just like he said. Right here. Wait, that's upside down. These small little, catching something small and using it many days. That would be it. These children are very small. They are created to fit within a box. The trees, nature, and the leaves, and all of that have much to do with it. The story is consistently told to us. This scene that Benny Keys and JLR and Dog, whatever his name is, do is extremely important information that changes throughout the video, and it shouldn't. Whatever boxes are behind them should not change. A brick wall does not change. Do you understand that throughout this video, That's what happens. His face changes, his hand changes, the situation changes. And it shows they're using Benny as the deep cover-up so they can show what is happening in the real world to the people and the kids that are getting sacrificed. And it definitely, in my philosophy, is about those boxes. This here moves and changes. Moves and changes. Benny's eye in this particular photo is what the victim's eyeball looks like. I'm not here to understand and try to figure out why it's connected to a tree leaf or why it's connected to one of those. What it really is, it's not a tree leaf. It may be connected to the earth and the ground and the tree leaf, but that is a very sophisticated piece of equipment that threads through the eye into the body system. It's a very sophisticated system that takes a very large group and a lot of deep money to do this. And it takes a lot of powerful people to cover it up. That is the only reason these cases aren't solved. They're going to solve it by what? Finding a piece of a bone? That doesn't give them justice. They're going to solve it by saying, we found SUMMERWELLS' head? That doesn't bring justice. That's not what the children are looking for. They're looking for their story to be told as I'm telling it to you. This is not the Benny in which you think he is. This situation here continues throughout each and every case I follow. If you guys slow these videos down and take a really good look at what's going on behind these heads and recognize that these are underground. Here I'm going to make the underground part dark and recognize that they are actually showing what's behind the victim. Now, it's not Benny's head. All of a sudden, this is the wall behind Benny. You see, because the deep fake is so very good at what it does, that this, that looks like a flat wall behind Benny laughing. Do you want to know what they're laughing about? The two women that were murdered the same week Gabby Petito was. The couple. The couple. How do we know that this isn't one of them? We don't. All I could tell you is I believe it is. I believe that this is about them, and this is about Gabby Petito, and this is what they did to Summer. This is what they did to Madeleine McCann. This is what they did to Michael Vaughn, Harmony, Quentin, all of them. This, you guys, if you really look, has nothing to do with this. This is the cover-up. This is someone's head fucking brutalized that is going down in the deep, deep hole in the ground. Period. That number 5 is the front of the box. That number 5 used to be next to Grandis's RV. I've showed it so many times. But Tim Mullen came in and moved it. Allegedly. I'm telling you he did. It was moved. For a family that lives on the Ben Hill Road, up on the hill, and has all of these things going on, don't you think it's just quite strange they didn't dig? Especially when he was doing construction the whole entire time his daughter, right before his daughter went missing and after his daughter went missing, the guy never stopped using plaster. He never stopped doing construction. He never stopped. Right there, you'd be like, what the fuck? He's going right to plastering, and he said, oh, I can't stop working because I need the money. Oh, okay. And nobody has broken down one wall with one hammer. Nobody has removed any pieces of wood from his ground. Nobody has looked under the area that he built. Nothing. Not one wood plank has been removed. Nothing. Nothing. All of, to me, the evidence that I have shown within photos point to the direction that this is under fucking ground. And it's in the woods. It's in the trees. Or they put it, it's in a tree. Like, I can't, like, chop a tree down. You know, knock down his chimney that he put up for 20 days, and it changed every time the news station was there. Whatever he put next to the door that Summer supposedly left, you're telling me that he put plaster on it every time before someone came? The plaster never looked the same. It always changed. The canoe was what always moved. The frame of the door always changed. Like, who does that while their daughter just went missing? You do that because you're covering something up. He was frantic. Frantic. This is what it looks like, you guys. It's situations like this that are telling the story. This is the most obvious situation for the authorities to look at and be like, oh yeah, there's no way that thing behind him keeps changing. The deep fake is what's over it. But if you just use your common sense, it can't change. Unless he's doing construction in between the video. Unless all this shit is changing between the video. This information here, right here, is the same information that the guy gave from the Idaho 4 video. It is the same information. They used the same storytelling. And guess what? Every time you would look at these fake, oh, look at, you've got Paw Patrol sitting in here. You might as well put Paw Patrol on Benny's head. Because what you see here, right here, is SUMMERWELLS number 5. Right here. and it's no longer there. This Paw Patrol guy changed direction, changed planting pots, and never was consistent in any of the videos. You guys never saw this little dude laying on its side. Look at this one. Like, what is that? Want to know what this is? It's telling you, this here is telling you the same story as Benny with, see how that little thing is coming out of that little dude's eyeball? He's telling the same story as Benny is trying to tell. They're just happen to be using Benny's face. There's no difference. Here, that's not even the Paw Patrol that was there. They're telling the same story. This, to me, are the two girls that died when Gabby Petito did. This here, wait, let me get the Paw Patrol. This here, where is it? Is nothing more than, let me crop it right. This here was shown this way in Cracking Cases. It was a great video. And there is a truck connected to Grandis's RV. This, to me, was where they put Summer Moon Wells's trophies. Right down there. That is her number 5. This is no different than Benny's head sticking out of the goddamn grass. The only difference is they're showing different victims' information. You guys, it's the same story. There is no difference between Benny's, so right there you have Summer Moons. Right here you have the Idaho 4. There's no difference. Difference is that's the Idaho 4 number 5 box. This is Summers. You tell me that all of these cases are in the weeds? All of these cases have footage in the weeds with the same maroon box? Really? The Idaho 4 guy just happens to have the same kind of photo as Summer Moon? As Benny? Really? Same fucking box. There's no difference between this box and Benny's box. None. This box, Summer's box, and Benny's box are all the same. They could cover up anything they want, blah, 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 blah. But this box right here, all of a sudden, the box is really clear right here. But guess what? They match. So why is it that no one could see that? Why is it that this is something that isn't being recognized? You guys really think about it. Here, I'll turn the box and you'll see the 5 easier. Here's the Idaho 4. That's their box. The number 5 maroon box is right in there. Now, let me tell you, the FBI could take this footage and get it. And match it right up to this video. And they could match it right up to SUMMERWELLS. That was right in the corner underneath Grandis's RV. It was right there. And I'm going to show you where I think Madeleine McCann's is. See how he has those little things on his teeth like that little boy did? Look at how clear and different the box is each time. Totally different. It's extremely obvious that the authorities don't want to touch it. This is way too obvious. Unless they want to keep playing hide and seek, look at the middle one. You see really clearly the same box that's in the Idaho 4. Look above and beyond what they want you to look at. Don't look at that's fake Benny. We don't know who Benny is. We don't know who any of these people are. Like I said, unless you've gone for dinner with them and you've had lunch with them and you've seen them, you don't know who they are. If you go into the smallest of the smallest box, this here will match perfectly to the Idaho 4. This is what's in that small box. Now all of a sudden you have a maroon, a silver, and a white box. Like all of a sudden you have 3 boxes. That's what's in the little one. The one to the left, you see, instead of Benny's head, you see that it's underground. Like you see the hole in the ground. The hole in the ground follows that real thick white bar all the time. That's what I call the 7 or the L. But that is the box. Right there. It's not his neck. Consistently matches. Over and over and over and over. And this Madeleine McCann, the same story. Wait till I show you. You guys, it's the same story. It's the same woods. It's the same shelter. It's the same shed. This is what's behind Benny. That's the number 5 box. Now notice how different that is. That's the little box with that white thing. You guys, that box is in. These are, you got to get someone. They have to get someone to bring them to these things. Or else they got to start banging down the cement, banging down the bricks, banging it down. They need to be led to it because it is there. This is right there. I have looked at that way too many times, that number 5 box. Look at that, you guys. People that have been in my chat room and have been following me know what that is. And it's not in his backyard. It's not behind him. Never was, never will be. It's right there. And it changes. So they use these faces. What you see on Benny's neck here, right here, you have to remember, and I'm going to come back to it. This here, all of a sudden, they have the equipment on like the person who does the victimizing. I have lots of photos of Benny wearing this. This is what goes on their neck. And the guy in Madeleine McCann's that I just grabbed has that same thing on his neck. I'm going to show you when I get to that position. But there's the 5. All of a sudden behind his head, where it was all one big 5, it's a little box. Never stays the same. All of a sudden this, where in the beginning it was just all one big pieces of like a wood blind, now it's this. Here, I'll put something up there to compare it to. Let's put a different one up. Let me get the one that's really clear. This one that was really clear. Here it is. Oh, it's the next page? Oh, it's the next page. Right there. That is not this. That right there that you see is totally different, right? Look. How does that happen? The only reason it happens is because they're covering up the sickness that is going on behind them. And these number 5 boxes are huge. There's no reason that this should ever change in a video. This, if nothing else, the authorities, this is something that anyone could see. You have to be able to see this. And you're not just talking about this happening in someone's video that's... These are videos of people that are talking about children that are gone missing. These are videos of people talking about the most horrific information, but yet this is what they show. They're showing location. They're showing the doorway to hell. They're showing you the importance of what they're showing you has to be recognized. Has to be. They get smaller and they get very, very vivid. This is extremely important information, and I'm bringing this up like this because it's extremely important in finding the children that are probably underneath the name Madeleine McCann. That is why that Madeleine gave me a gift, telling me that there's many Madeleines, many children under Madeleine's name that are nameless. And this information could help find them. Little things like this, built into the ground, in the ground, in the wall, in holes. In order to find the children over there and find Madeleine McCann, they need to take, like, I see it, like take not a hammer, but a big something and knock through the walls and knock through the floors. They need to knock something down to find her. And they could knock it down without a bulldozer. They need to knock it down. That's what I see in my third eye. Knocking it down. Yeah, like a pickaxe. It's obvious to me because I see it. Unfortunately, no one lets me on these locations, because if I were to be on that location, I could walk right to the wall that I see in front of me. It's an open space, and it's in the corner where two walls meet that create that V, and that's where it is. It's where it is. In order to find these things, you really they need to stand there in silence and allow themselves to be led to the space, because it's in a very open space. And it's really, really small. These things are really, really small. They're small. Teeny. They're teeny. Just like this guy said, Christian B. He said it. It's in summer moon wells, and these kids and these things are placed systematically. They're placed with a theory. They're placed like a map. It's mapped out. It's not just like they throw shit around, and it's mapped out. And this was supposed to be Summer Moon Wells's little Paw Patrols. Like, they're in different containers, and this really gives a lot of information. But I believe Tim Mullen came and moved it all. But this, to me, what I'm saying is it's all the same, you guys. It's plants. They use the greens. There's no difference between Benny's head here or Paw Patrol's head here. It's the same information that's being shared. This information here is being shared. You see that that's not Benny's head. It's not Benny's head. It's not. Look. Right here. Let me crop it. This you have seen before, you guys. You've seen this on Summer Moon. You have seen these on victims. Right here. This information is the same information they're giving on the Idaho 4, Summer Moon Wells, Madeleine McCann. They just need to follow it and understand that photos like this should be questioned. This should have been questioned by the authorities. Do you understand all of this is within the conversation of people that died? These are totally different once again. I'm showing tons of these. I have like 20 pages on it. The only reason I do is because the purpose here is to show you that as he is speaking, just like anything else in these cases, the information is telling the story. So what you see is the equipment right behind the maroon door. It's always, always within the maroon box. I banned that guy. I cut him out. He's gone. You can't speak to him. You can't have that in the chat. It's just someone coming in to try to throw you guys off. So I took him out. This here shows you very different information than from the beginning. So I am showing you, I beat you to it. I'm showing you that throughout this 1 minute, literally, it's like a minute, a complete storyboard that matches SUMMERWELLS children is being told within the boxes like they always do. Look at that. Look. Consistently changes. And that's the information that needs to be looked at and questioned. Very much so. Very much so. Now that I showed you all those photos, you tell me that this is a different story. It's the same story. It is the same story. There's a trial going on right now. Not a trial. The trial is until October, but there's a lot of movement right now in the Idaho 4, right? And I'm not quite sure if anything like this is even going to be recognized. Let me show you something. Put the corners together. Let me put these corners together. You want to follow the thinnest. Watch how this matches perfectly. The thinnest, like, it looks like a piece of a tree, but it isn't. So in Benny's is up to the left-hand corner. And this one, these corners are the same. You see that? So if you turn it, these are the same. Let me see if I could crop it better. Wait. So this goes right in here, see? See how it's got this same kind of, that's what's in his eyeball, and those are the little white meshy things I call white mesh. That's the corner. Those are the white mesh. And that's what's in his eyeball and connected to the eyeball and connected to the body. We don't need to figure out exactly what that is. All I know, it's their main elements. Their main elements. Like this is Idaho 4. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys. It's the same thing. Benny just turned the yellow part into green. That's all. Wow, you really confused us. This is the same corner. This and this are the same corner. That and Benny's. Goes right there. See how they've got that meshy thing coming out? Goes right there. You could literally put that right in. And then here's the Idaho 4. You see the maroon box right there? Here, let me circle it. Here's the maroon box. And here's the maroon box. Right? Here's the white meshy stuff that goes inside wherever that is. Here's the white meshy stuff. Like that. And then you just line up the metal. It's the same damn thing. There's no difference between these two photos. Zero. Wow, they really confuse us. They turn the yellow into bright green. Whoop-de-doo. You know? It's so here's the maroon number 5 in the Idaho 4 video. And here's your maroon number 5 in Benny's. Here's the white stuff coming out of this hole. Here's the white stuff here coming out of that hole. And then you have the frame. Then you have the metal frame. See here the metal frame, and they turned this green. Here's the metal frame, and they turned it maroon. They usually use maroon, green, or white. Maroon, green, or white. So between these two photos, you've got your maroon, green, and white. That's all they do, is change the color. This is this guy, but in Benny's, it's Benny. Super simple. And this, you could find this video right here. The video is 51 seconds long. In 51 seconds, it gives a shitload of information. Oh yeah, the house needs to be busted down. This is Benny, the dog guy, JLR, and it tells a lot spiritually and visually. And this is where I got that information. You guys could find this video and you will see the same thing. That information of when they put them in the trees and the leaves is how we last saw summer. Now, a lot of people just saw summer in the car. They only saw summer the way they wanted you to see her, because they deep faked over the truth. Summer Moon is in one of these boxes down in the leaves. Summer's told us she's in the leaves. The leaves, the leaves, the leaves. I don't question it. This is Summer in the leaves. This is what her video turns to. I don't need to look at that. This here is Madeleine McCann. This is that guy's, Christian B's, property. This is the property of Christian B. Now, when I did my first, I'm going to look at this for a little bit and see what comes out. Let me brighten it up. When I first learned about Christian B, I had no idea how horrible a person he is. I didn't know all of these things that they now say that he did. If I were the authorities and I wanted to go knock something down and see where these children were placed within the walls of this compound, you follow the signs. You follow the things that we have been shown, right? Now, let's see what shows up. Okay, here's the number 5. Right here. Boom. Fuck. Like, I would go right here, man. Right there. Oh my God. Right in there is where I would go. They will find different heads and different victims. I am telling you so. They're not going here, you guys. Right now, they're going to the water. That I don't understand. This here, oh Jesus Christ, this is where they are. So this is, oh my God, watch this, you guys. You want to vomit? Watch. Watch. Turn this shit upside down and you've got John Wayne Gacy situation. This is it. This is it. That's the corner I'm talking about right there. All the way back there, that's the corner. That's the corner they need to find. Look at that. See, it's just like Summer Moon. It's just like Summer Moon, watch. This here is the equipment. Watch. Oh my God. Oh my God, you guys, this is the equipment. It's like a cookie cutter. Oh my fucking God, it's right. Look. Right here. There's the head. That's the equipment. Jesus Christ. Look. Right here. So this is a head in the cylinder. And this is how it's shaped, just like that. This is the equipment. These are the holes in the ground. The different victims. There are many victims. They don't, it's not the water they need to go to. They need to go here. See? See that? See those, see all this information? See what's coming out of each hole? It's not coincidence. It's not a coincidence. This is really important. I mean, if anyone is here from this area, I'm not going to be able to tell them this shit. They're going to have to find it. But it's telling you these are holes just like John Wayne Gacy. This is telling the story, you guys. This is the SUMMERWELLS missing children story. It's right here. I don't know why they're searching in the water. Maybe he put shit in the water, but this is the situation. This is the situation. This is the situation. They got to go in this corner. This is the corner. You guys, this is the corner right here. They got to go in this corner. I said I saw a corner. I bet anything that they would find Madeleine McCann's remains here. So this is the ceiling. This is the corner. No, it's a good question. This is the corner. This is Christian B's. He owns this warehouse. Yeah, that's a car. He owns this warehouse. It's an abandoned warehouse that they went to go look at. And there's news footage on it. I'm like, it doesn't look like they did anything in this thing. Looks like they just sort of walked through it. It always struck me as curious. You know, I could only compare what I mean by this corner is whatever they did to Summer. And what I just said out loud a little bit ago, I talked about them putting plaster on that fake chimney outside of her door. This corner reminds me of that with the 5 on it. It reminds me of the same thing. I believe that this stuff gets put in things like that, like something that it gets preserved, like there's something like this, like there's some sort of equipment. See this? This is the equipment that I talk about. Somewhere this equipment exists in this building. This. And I think that it goes in a chimney like that. Like they put like a time capsule or something like that. And it goes in things like that. Like, and that's what I think, that there's a part of summer in that particular part of their home. You know, it's, let me see if I could get a picture of that. Let's see if I could, I have thousands and thousands of pictures, but once in a while I get lucky. Wells. Wells home, let's see. Let me see, Wells home. I have so many photos, it's ridiculous. Kind of, it's interesting. It sort of reminds me of this. This is, I pulled this from the Wells, like, reminds me of this. Can't explain it. Like those little things. Wait. This here, I'm going to make smaller. But it reminds me of that. Like it goes in here. Like the same reason how I would bust this down is the same way I would bust the Wells' chimney that he keeps putting plaster on right by the door that Summer was going out of. See, there's another one here and there's a 5. There's another one here. Are these bearing walls? Like these are columns, see? See how that column has a 5 on it also? Like I would be curious where these lead. And all of these on the ceilings are telling a story. I would go back to this building and knock it down. Just like they did. Look at the ground. Just like they did in John Wayne Gacy's. Same thing. This here, let me brighten this up. To me, is all the same. And the reason I'm late today is because I thought it was important to really point this out. Those walls right there. Whatever that column is. That's the column with the 5 on it that I would bust down. And there's a car in there, but I was always connected to this. tremendous amount of information. And this is the top of his building. Those doorways with the one door open, it's almost, to me, I've seen this on the Wells home. Even though I knew it wasn't really on their home, it's just like this. I've seen this a few times. But it's the way that this is telling the story is very, very familiar. And that's why I had to bring this up. So if I were on location, I would be busting this whole thing down. This whole thing down. And this is what John Wayne Gacy did. It's just like this. These are the little boxes he used. That's the frame. These are the boxes. This is what he used. Thanks, guys. So that building gives me the same feeling as looking at John Wayne Gacy's. It gives me the same feeling. So what that means spiritually is it gives me the feeling that this is what they should be doing to that building. See? Those holes to me remind me of the same story. And to me, again, I'm pulling it, goes all the way back to Eaton, who was the first little boy on the milk carton. This is a basement that was built underground. What you see here is no different to me than what I just showed you inside that warehouse. It to me, it's no different. It's telling the same story. Let me grab the piece that I think is the same. Let's see. My God, I brightened this up so much. Wait. Let's see what I got here. That corner. So this, what you see here, is telling the same story than what you see here. To me, it's just, they're doing the same thing. Whatever they're doing here to the children, here, started back when. tells the same story. This is his camper. It's a great way to travel and get away with this shit. Really is. I really added a lot. I really turned this one around because I saw the information on the news, so I needed to flip this. This trailer, I do believe that trailers are a part of how they move shit around. Just looking inside the windows. There's always stuff on the windows. And this is the guy that did the interview or walked through the building. This guy walked through the building, and there's the mattress. This is a building that really needs to be looked at. This reminds me exactly of the Wells property with the shed. It really, really tells the story. This part here I couldn't ignore. This part here was in the video, and it's at whatever, it's at 30, I think I have a picture of it. I think it's at 30:32. But it goes super fast, and it's a real fast clip. But when I take little photos of what is going on as he walks into this thing, and the only reason I took notice of it is because it reminds me of SUMMERWELLS. The guy who's walking in this thing, it's very odd. The way he walks and what is in the window and what's around his neck is very, very strange. This whole entire section, and it's all within 1 second, doesn't make any sense to me in the video. This place is supposed to be abandoned. It's really, really old. The trees here don't make any sense. They remind me of the Wells fake trees. The Wells had like these 3 fake trees next to trees. That is right there. Doesn't make any sense to me. It's super white. I don't feel like he's walking towards some, and look what's around his neck. This 1 second in the video, it goes super fast, like, and then it tries to go away, like it let me show you. It's covered with, wait, I know here. There's a second in there that it's covered with this. This room, it's got like this covered, and then it shows certain things. That's what happens. And it's like hiding. See the neck? And those are not trees. They're not. I don't know what they are. But this one area of the video makes 0 sense. None. See? And they have that little thing in the door. Like, this reminds me of SUMMERWELLS. Showing you all the different ones I have. Something is super wrong. This is what his neck looks like, you guys. It has the equipment on his neck, just like the victims have on their neck. This is what they have on their neck. SUMMERWELLS had the same thing. And again, they're in the woods and in the trees and in the leaves. Whatever is going on here is the same thing. Again, to pull it all together, that's going on here. This and what's going on here. It is the same. Whatever's in his eyeballs, all of this is the same. And SUMMERWELLS was not in her car. She was in the grass, doing the same thing, laying in the same hole. The same. The same. All of it. All of it. Look at his neck. The other thing to notice is that little thing in the window moves. You can't forget about the small little gadgets, the smallest little things that they place. Get a little closer, but that moves. And all of these those little, I call them bony things, but they move. This guy here is covered in the trees, connected to the wires, and he's going in that tunnel, and it's completely strange. And it's in the video. It's in the video. Hello, the Three Musketeers. These guys have a lot of information that is shown. They have a lot. Now, I may have gotten a little distracted over here, but the information that I just showed comes from these guys. So, I'm not sure I'm really not sure how none of them are getting questioned. The things in their mouths are a major element. Major. I don't know what it is. But Gabby Petito had one. SUMMERWELLS had one. Madeleine McCann had one. This live is going to end with the photos I have of SUMMERWELLS, as well as pulling it together and showing you how this is all the same. These photos and images, once again, come from the original videos. The original videos were replayed on different channels. Shay's Safe Place is one of them. What I am very confused on is why there are so many different versions of SUMMERWELLS on the swing. This here is the truth. This here is the truth. This is the very first time that I have photos of summer last final. Summer's pictures and TikToks, for those who don't know, the most important ones were the swing, they were the car. Let me show you. Let's just stick with the swing and the car right now. The car video, which I believe came from Shay's Safe Place also, was the one who showed me the summer that I feel is the truth. And it's very similar to this one. I showed you guys this. I said she has something wrapped on her head. I am telling you, Shay's safe place has the real photos stuck in her videos. It's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. Because this here is the truth. Spiritually, I am telling you. Spiritually, I'm telling you. These are telling you Summer Moon Wells' true story. You see that big ass thing that's right next to her head? Do you remember in the beginning when I said, oh, what the fuck does Benny have on his head? What's that big thing sticking on his head? That's what Summer has on her head. Same thing. Let me grab it. It's a big bulge of something. They are telling the same story over and over and over. You understand? Nothing changes. Ever. Never. Really, the only thing that changes is the victim. That's it. That's it. Where's that bulge? Is it here? Wait. It's a thing on his face. Not that one. Come on. We showed it earlier. Oh, it's kind of like this. Sit down. Got my dog in here. It's sort of like this. See that big thing on his head? It's like the same thing that Summer has on her head. No different. This, to me, is the real Summer Moon Wells. This, to me, is what happened in Summer Moon Wells' last moments. This is Summer. This is her. This is Summer. This is part of Summer's story. And it's telling the part of the story where they're in that cylinder. I'm not really quite sure, but it has something to do with a tree. And it has something to do with the leaves. This is part of her story, you guys. This is a very important part of the children's story. And whatever she is going through here is what they're going through here. Same thing. Same thing. This is Summer Moon in her corner, in the corner of her ground. This corner is completely mapped out. It's mapped out. There is a reason and a purpose for the corner. Let me change the contrast. Here, you'll be able to see her better. I just changed the contrast. That goes all the way down, you guys. Goes all the way down. Sassafras, 12 months. Thank you. Thank you. I love it. Thank you. This is another Summer Moonwell's missing child to the left. These are different children, you guys, and they're not all the same, but Summer Moonwells is the leader of the pack. Like, she's the one that was the chosen one. And these kids are really right behind her, but they don't have anything, any kind of justice, nothing. This is Summer. And this is a part of the story that needs to be told. What's on her chest is just that, it's that the same thing that all the children have. It's like a little doll. I don't know what it is. It's a little doll. It's a small little doll. And they're real, and they have them. They each get a small little doll. The dolls are very important to the people that are doing this. It's the dolls that they like to keep. These dolls are very significant, you guys. Very significant. That's the doll that went with Summer Moon. That's the doll. You guys, they each have one. You see the other little either a little embryo or a baby or something, an animal. But this is what Summer Moon Wells left with. This is what she left with. This is a photo that was, I don't know why I have it, but this scares me. This photo really scares me. I feel like that's the rake. I feel like that's something that was used. I don't like this photo, and I don't know why I have it. I don't like this photo, but I believe that this is part of their story, and it's a very hurtful, harmful part of their story, I feel. I feel pain. I feel scared. I feel scared, tell you the truth, looking at it. Let me brighten it up. And I feel like the children know exactly what this is. And this is by her tree. This is by her tree. I don't like it at all. I don't know if that's a person's head. I don't know what this is, but it's very dark. It's very dark. Again, these are photos of summer. Oh, maybe it has to do with that. Let me see. Is this what's on Summer's face? Like a scraper? That, does that go with this? Do these go together? You know, these are very hurtful photos. Like, I feel like the children go through this horrific pain here, and they feel every part of it. They're alive for this, and they're alive for that, and I don't know, you guys. I just don't understand how this is still going on. This is where that L or 7 came in. This is obviously Summer Moon not on the swing. She's not on the swing. This is part of the sacrifice. These are photos that you've never seen before. Now I have photos. This is Candace's TikTok. I have photos like this, but let me tell you, that's either Don or Candace kissing their daughter. And I have a serious problem. I've never seen it like this where I feel like that's Don. You know, Summer is covered in blood. This is horrific. And it comes from Candace's TikTok. This is her TikTok. And why is it that something like this could go unnoticed by the authorities? The mothers, and for them to get I'm sure they have all of this footage, right? I mean, they have to have all this footage. Wait, I just took the light down a little. Sometimes when it's too bright, it's hard to see it. That's either Candace or Don. Yes, her face, her eyes, this is where I'm telling you, her eye is gone. She has no left eye here, okay? And she's bleeding. It's a major photo. What are you chewing on, little duck? Here. Oy, you're chewing on. Oh my God. She's chewing on one of my toothpicks. See? See, showing this stuff brings justice to Summer. And this is the only way to do it. Because this is her story. And that is not a swing. And it's disgusting how that's the story that was put out there. When this is the real story. This is the story. This is Summer Moon's story. This is Summer Moon's story. That is either Don. I feel like it's Don. This comes straight from the video. You see, and Summer Moon Wells needs us to see this so she gets justice. That is where I believe they put shit in the ground. That is where I believe that Summer Moon Wells, parts of her could be found. And that is the corner of Grandis's truck. And this is Summer's story. And Mike, really, I don't understand how this could be ignored. You know, and there's so much movement between Madeleine McCann and now the Idaho 4. They're all the same story. And they're all going to miss it. What you see here is what happened to the Idaho 4. That's what happened to them. not a photo that should be in Candace's video. This is a photo that shouldn't be anywhere. Should be anywhere. What are you chewing? Oh my God. Yeah, they need to dig. Actually, there's a map between the Idaho 4 house and the surrounding houses. I saw it. Like someone actually mapped it out. You don't know it's mapped out unless you're looking for it. Yeah, that's all blood. And this isn't Summer. I believe that Michael Vaughn is in this photo and an older girl. There's an older girl here and Michael Vaughn. This is not the Summer that we know. The one to the left has shorts on. And this is really obvious for the authorities to see that her video, she never has shorts on. She doesn't have shorts on. Look at this. This shouldn't be accepted either. This should be a photo that is looked at like, holy crap. How is it that a video of Summer Moon on a swing could look like a child, a boy, like this? It's impossible unless it's a different child. This is a child that needs justice. This is a child that we're giving justice to them right now. Just by recognizing that this is somebody else. Just by recognizing that that is not Summer and it's someone who has gone missing and was murdered and sacrificed under the name of Summer. This is an example of what I'm talking about. What about the one to the right? We know this isn't her either. Look. Two different people in the name of Summer Moon Wells. So when I say Summer Moon Wells missing children, there's more than one Summer Moon, this is what I mean. We're looking at information under Summer Moon. You're looking at two different humans that are not Summer. Yeah, it looks like an adult on the right is not a child. And if you look in the smallest of the smallest window, it shows that they're inside and they're not outside, like they're in a dungeon. The smallest window, I'm going to show you something very, like this is what I do. So if I were to brighten the smallest of the smallest, which is still the correct information, that isn't even outside anymore. That is in a room with a door in the back. Like all of them have a door. This here, if you look, comes from that photo. But that's what it looks like. How crazy is that? That's underground. This is the door that I always talk about. There's always a door. So it's not like there's a door. They're not in their backyard on the swing, you guys. This shit is somewhere you can't find it. This is the truth. Right here. That's the door. The door that leads to hell. But yet, they're showing it's in the backyard. It's not in the backyard. It's not in the backyard. The little boy in Summer is the one up in the left-hand side. This is between their legs. I don't know what that is, but it's there. And there's a number 5 connected to the leg. It's awful. I don't know. Whatever they do is awful. Why do I have this in here again? Oh, I'm showing the underground. Here I have the underground information. I don't know why I put this back in here. It's also very important to, going back to Ernie and Benny and these guys, to know that photos like this from these guys are staple parts of the elements that I go for, you know, because these all match. And this information isn't stopping. And it seems as if I'm not really quite sure why there's such a rush to get all this shit out there. But there is. There's some kind of a movement. And knowing that the Idaho 4 trial is going to be coming up, SUMMERWELLS 2-year anniversary is coming up, Madeleine McCann, they're now digging and looking at places. There's a lot of movement. But what they're really missing and not discussing is that all of these cases have the same information. No one is really ready to talk about it. They're just not, and I'm much more curious to know why. To know why no attorney or anyone is taking this and being like, oh wow, Kylie Rodney had this on her head. Oh wow, so do they have this on their head. Oh, Summer has it too. Wow. Nobody. So I'm going to keep doing this and showing shit like this, because most of it comes from these guys, and how that may look a little silly to most people, but I know where to find it in my photos, because it's a staple element. staple between Benny, between Ernie, between Ryan Upchurch. This is his mom that has the same thing. These are the same elements, you guys. This is Ryan Upchurch's mom. This here is telling the same story. And this is the Summer Moon Wells Missing Children's story. This is how they get justice. This is how they get justice. Forget anything that shows the tree, under the tree. Now I know why I put this in here. Blah, blah, blah. Anything that you see going on is all underground. Just like this. Underground. This is taking place underground. I don't know why these two are in these photos, but these are the best photos that I have and that I will use to show what the underground looks like within my third eye. It looks like this. We don't know who's in these photos, you guys. We don't. But this dude gives me lots of information. He looks just like Andrew Hilt. Andrew Hilt is another one I'm getting lots of information from. There's my main element. It's right there. It's right there. That is the same main element here as this. And this somehow goes in the ground, goes in the tree, blah, 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 blah. That's what happens. And Andrew's showing all this shit in his videos. So I have a handful. I could count it on one hand where I could get the images that I'm looking for. So I could show you guys what it looks like. Yeah, and that's about it. And this is underground. This is underground. That is my video for tonight. And I really hope that justice comes on a large platform really soon, because Summer Moon Wells Missing Children and all of these kids are waiting. I mean, we give them a lot. But it's not enough. It's not enough. I know it's not enough. Can't stand it. You guys, thank you so much for being here. Muffin Top, thank you for keeping everything nice and tight. Thank you to my members, my subscribers, my new subscribers, my longtime members, my longtime subscribers. Thank you. You guys have a wonderful night. Enjoy the weather. It's amazing out here. And may justice come to these children really soon. I pray and hope that next time I talk to you guys, there's a huge shift. Thank you all. God bless you all. And I'll talk to you soon. Good night, guys.